You're highly welcome to Future Setters Institute's Youth Development Show, episode 22. And today we're going to be interacting on steps to build a healthy mental health and fight depression. You see, one major challenge that draws a lot of young people back is they are depressed, they lack what they need, and that makes them to feel so bad about themselves. They feel because a lot of people have opportunities and they don't have these opportunities, they look down on themselves and they withdraw themselves from the world. And that is a very big challenge to each and every one of us. And that is why we decided to put up this program to guide you on effective steps that you can take to become a healthier person. It all starts from the mindset. You see, your mind can actually set you on the right path, or your mind can limit you from doing great things. The way you think actually influences the decisions you make. How about you stay around people that actually love you and care about you and push you to do things that are unimaginable? These are things that happens when we have a very good mental health. So today, you stay with us while we share some very captivating tips, interesting and lovely things that will guide you and put you on the right path. Once more, you are welcome. And Future Setters Institute is a place where young minds are groomed on leadership, personal development, and work ethics. We want you to be the best person out there. We want you to thrive, and we want you to come out and become independent. That is why we keep having youth development shows every Sunday by 3 p.m. West African time. I know you have a lot of questions. I know you have so much you want to know. You want to know, you are so inquisitive. That is one thing that great and innovative young individuals need to have. We need to have a mind of learning that every day we always expose ourselves to doing new things. How do we better the world if we keep complaining? How about we start thinking of new ways to help people grow or help people thrive? And that is the more reason why we have this program. And it is so great for you to be here. We have a great man, a person of experience, a person of value, a person that interests me a lot. I decided to invite him here today to share his wealth of experience with you so that you can know more about how to fight depression, which is a very great challenge that limits young people. So we have invited the person of Joseph James Iorio from United States to share his wealth of experience and guide you through the right path. You are greatly welcome, Joseph James Iorio.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon to you.
Hello, Nigeria. This isn't a topic a lot of people don't like to talk about. A lot of people keep this depression hidden because it feels like a stigma, like there's something wrong with you, and they don't talk about it. It's only in the last 15 or 20 years that we actually did this in the United States. It was always a secret. Nobody ever talked about it. And if you don't talk about it, you can't get help. Once you bring it out into the open, you can find tools that'll help you slowly get out of depression. Now, there's severe depression, there's regular depression, which comes and goes. But severe depression is, I can relate to it because I went through it. Okay. Um, say in my midlife. I'm 72 now. It was like around in my late 30s, early 40s. Um, it's a heavy weight that you carry. You don't want to do anything. You lose interest in stuff. Your eating suffers. You don't sleep on a regular basis. You don't want to go out. You want to isolate and stay away from people. And all of those things, they're the worst things to do for depression. Um, the key the key thing that I found that helps the most is connection, communicating what's going on and reaching out to somebody. because talking to somebody gets the thoughts out of your head and out, and you hear them, and you express yourself, and you start feeling better. When you keep all the thoughts in your head, they get spin and spin and spin, and it gets worse and worse. You keep dreading what's going to happen, and why am I here, and what am I doing, and nothing makes sense. I recommend you talk to somebody, your best friend. I don't know if they have what kind of therapy they have there, but just speaking, getting out of your own head is the first step to trying to relieve some of the depression that's going on. So I'm going to leave it up to Victor to. We'll go through a few questions and see what we come up with. Hopefully, we can help
Also,
you.
also, also, you spoke really well, and yeah, you said the truth. A lot of people love to stay in isolation. They love to stay in isolation, and this limits them a
Mhm.
lot. And even the this Socrates that said, man cannot exist in isolation. A man has to, he has to cluster around people. He has to, communicate with people. He has to share his pains with people. And this comes with this question. This comes with this question because what do you think about people that they stigmatize people because of sickness, because of loss of or lack of jobs? For example, someone has a job before he lost his job, and or someone just became so sick, and then they just stigmatize him. Like, what do you really think about? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Stigmatizing, no, stigmatizing is a bad thing. Putting people down, treating them like they're less than because they're struggling, that's a bad thing. And that comes from the people that do it. It comes from fear and ignorance. When people don't understand something, they like to put it down. We do it here in the United States. It's done all over the world. And it's usually done in groups, in schools. If you act different, kids pick up on this stuff, and they can be cruel and bully you for for any little silly little thing. Um, I went through my last name. My last name is Iorio, but it just sounded funny to other kids, and they would make fun of me. There's a cookie called Oreos. I don't know if you have them over there in Nigeria. They're
No,
chocolate
no.
with a filling in the middle. They're called Oreo.
Oh yeah.
And so, yeah, and so when I was growing up, they had a jingle, yo ho ho for an Oreo. And they used to sing that to me all the time, and I hated it. Oh, why are they doing this to me? And that's the way kids, oh, they're cruel. So people don't choose their situations. They're in their situation, and they have to make the best of it. And making fun of them just makes it even worse for them to try to deal with this on a day to day basis. Um, that's all I can say. I don't know. They try everything with bullying, but once kids get in a group, if you're one on one with somebody, it's less it's less likely that it's going to happen. But when two or more people get together and they start forming a group, they want to think of themselves as better, and they want to point a finger at somebody else so you don't look at their faults. That's really what's going on. They have the same faults
Yeah.
you have, but they want to detract you from them and point a finger at somebody else, and it's easier. And then they think they're popular with their friends because of what they're doing. But it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
That's
See
awesome.
the human being for who they are. You not the problem that they have, but who they are as a human being. Cut away all the what clothes they're wearing, how they speak, all kinds of stuff. Cut that away and look at them as a human being, and You'll feel better too if you're one of the bullies.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome.
yes,
That's awesome. You see, a lot of people, have been in such situation too. At some point, some persons may be like, you have a big head, you talk too much, you do this too much, and they make you feel like you feel less of a human. I'll give some instances. Let me talk about the aspect of you talk too much. Now, I now said, okay, you said I talk too much, right? Okay, how about I limit the talking? Because this talking actually makes them happy. I'll give an instance around my friends, around the places I am. Maybe I always have, something to talk about, something that this is like a gift that others do not have. So I decided that okay, I should be quiet, I should be silent, I should not say anything. Then it got to I think 2 days, 3 days. They were like, why? Victor, what happened? Did we offend you? Did we do this to you? I told them, I thought that's what you wanted. Now the whole place became so boring, like silent. Then what happened? I decided to move from that place to another place. I left that place where I used to stay. I had to pack to another place. And that was even the worst situation. That was when they remembered, oh, Victor, every small thing. Victor, they will call Victor, check up on Victor. What is happening, Victor? You left me, Victor. Cries where, the day I left, they were crying bitterly. But when they saw me always, being myself, cheerful, loving, the best friend, the cool person that always sees life as as a normal thing that doesn't really worry, you say you talk too much. So these are certain things that happen. Just like this aspect of stigmatization, I feel it's like a normal thing. It's a normal thing. So I think we should try to understand this, that it should not be something that will affect our thinking. It's not something that will make you to now change or deviate from who you are. We have to really like do things the way it should be, do things and feel happy, live our life like we are really living and not existing. That is just a very vital point that keeps resonating on my mind. Like I should just live my life, live my best life, and not just live according to what people want. And if we all can really do this, it will go a long way to far better our mental health and build us to be better persons. And
I,
a lot of
I have a
people.
line. I have a line for you. What other
Okay,
pe-
awesome.
what other people think of me is none of my business. Think about it.
Wow, wow, that's a good line. That's a good point.
Because if you're
But a
worried
lot of
about what
people,
somebody's thinking about you, you're not going to be your true self. You're going to be afraid to say certain things. You're going to hold back. And that's not a good thing.
yes,
No matter what, if you feel a truth inside you, a feeling, and it's honest, we always need to speak our truth. And
awesome.
if you see some kids being bullying another one, it's not a bad thing to stand up for them and say this isn't right. You can step in as long as you're not in danger. But if you speak your truth, you're helping to stop that and show them a better way
That's,
to live their life.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Another thing that happens is, you see, some persons that were doing very well because of peer group and influence, they now begin to, abuse drugs, begin to now, try to, work with their friends or just feel among, feel as if they are now, they are now around people. So they begin to abuse drugs, and these drugs now makes them feel inferior. What do you have to say about, this whole peer group influence, this whole substance abuse, and the depression that could possibly result from it?
Well, I'm a recovering alcoholic and I used to do drugs. I experimented here and there all along, starting in high school. And looking back on what I was trying to do was fit in with the other people I was hanging out with. But usually when somebody's doing drugs, they're looking to fill a hole. There's a void inside them that they need to fill. Sometimes parents don't pay attention to the kids, and they're not getting enough attention. They join a gang or a group, and it feels like family to them because they're paying attention. They want to feel like they belong. Everybody wants to feel like they belong somewhere. Um, Drugs, it'll take you away from the your pain and your misery or whatever's lacking in your life, but that only lasts so long, and eventually you come out the other side and you're worse off than you were before you started the drugs. It's hard to say no when you're around your friends that are experimenting and trying it. And I
That's
wouldn't say don't try it. You can try it once, but if you get into the habit of doing it all the time, that becomes your life. You're going backwards. You're not learning anything. Your mind, you're whittling away all your thoughts and your education and everything because you're not functioning as a 100% human being. You're depriving yourself of a lot of things, and you will suffer in the end when you when it gets too extreme and you're addicted, depending on the kind of drugs you're taking. So I was addicted to the worst drug was alcohol for me, and it took me many years. Even when I went to treatment, I would stay sober, not drink. I'd go a year, 2 years, and then I'd say, I'm cured. Now I can have a drink. But no, once you're an alcoholic, you can never have another drink. One drink is too many, 1,000 isn't enough. Think about it.
wow.
Because because
Actually,
I went through these stages where I would fight myself. Oh, do I want to drink? Don't I want to drink? Do I want to drink? Finally, if I gave in and I said, and I had the drink, and I knew I shouldn't be because I already went to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, where they teach you how to live without drinking. And I put that drink down my in my body, then I say, oh well, that's it. I did it. So then I keep drinking and drinking and drinking because that's what an alcoholic does. They keep drinking. And it gets to the point where you have to drink not to get high, but to get. You ever see an alcoholic shaking? It's to
sure.
stop your body. It's to function. Because if you withdraw too quickly off of alcohol, cold turkey, you can die. You can go into a coma and die. It's the only drug you can die from when you're withdrawing. So I needed all the tools that were offered, but I also turned myself over to God and the universe,
Mm,
whoever is running the planet, and say, help me. I don't want to live. This is an illness. This is sickness. And I want to be relieved of it. And so in 2005, on June 6th, I had my last drink, and the curse felt like it was lifted off of me. So I
wow.
haven't I haven't had a drink in 20 years.
Wow. That's so
Life is
nice.
good. Life is good. Okay. But when you're a teenager, there's so much peer pressure. It's hard enough growing up without all that other extra stuff as a teenager because you're learning new stuff. Your body's developing into, a full adult, and you experiment with sex, drugs, music, whatever it is. So it's super hard, but you have to have one person you look up to that you can go to and say, I'm not feeling right. I'm not doing the right thing. I'm taking drugs. Somebody that could help you out of that, because if you get put in that position and there's nobody around, you're going to stay in the position, and then all of a sudden your life is going to feel like it's falling apart, and you are going to get depressed, and because drugs will make you depressed eventually. If you're not depressed before you start them, you will be after you've been doing it for a little bit of time. It's going to take over your life, and you're going to feel empty. So you need to fill that void up. Activities, there's so many different activities, sports, music. You can learn things on the internet, to fill that void, because kids get bored, right? They're always looking for something to do,
Sure.
something new. When I grew up, I didn't have computers. I didn't have a cell phone. We just went outside and we played. We made up games and we enjoyed ourselves. We got exercise. Exercise is a key to depression. We can probably get into it in one of your questions here. So I'll let you see if you got another question or something I didn't touch on.
Awesome. Awesome. Spoke really well. And that's so true. People that get depressed, you know, they are unable to leave it. It now becomes an addiction. Most times it becomes an addiction, and trying to let go of it is very difficult for them. So would love to know, because there are still some persons that may be depressed, but to be pretending not to be depressed. So it would be a great, it would be great to know some ways to spot a person that is depressed. So how can I spot someone? Now you are saying, and they need to, person needs someone to speak to or talk to. Now, how do I know that this person is depressed? And how can I really help this person when I spot it?
Well, there's different signs. I think I mentioned a few of them, like they're tired all the time. They're not doing what they used to do. They're giving up a lot of their activities. They're isolating in their room. Um, they're not eating healthy. They're, you know, they skip meals, or they sometimes they eat too much. Uh, it's a heavy weight on them, and it feels like there's no way out when you're in that vacuum. You don't care about what's happening today or tomorrow. It's just you just want to get through to the next hour. That's how bad it can get. There's mild depression, when you feel sad about something. Maybe you had a little relationship and it broke up, and you get depressed. And then that goes away after time. But certain things that pulls you into that deep depression, that's a heavy weight on you. Um, it's a signal that you need help. And it is a good thing if you can spot it. But a lot of times, people that are depressed know how to hide it really well. And they fake it because you always say this to people: "Hi, how are you today?" "Oh, I'm fine." Well, nobody ever says, "Oh, I'm going through a bad time." Or they just say, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine." Because I talk to a lot of people in Messenger on Facebook with my coaching. And
Mm,
always, I've never heard anybody say, "I'm not feeling that great today." Ba-da-dee-da. It's a natural response. They say, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm doing great. I'm wonderful." So there's a veil. People put up a veil to hide their true feelings. The only way you're going to find out is by asking more questions. How's your job? How the kids? How's the family? Or how are your friends? Do you go? Are you in doing any sports in school this year? And how's that going? And that's how you'll find out, because of their answers, how they answer. You can't hide it after you start speaking a little bit, because they're in their mind. And but the first question, "How are you?" You have to go beyond that, because everybody's going to say, "Oh, I'm great. I'm fine." That's the natural answer to give. Um, as far as spotting people that are depraved, you probably can tell if you're living with them, if you're a relative or maybe a friend. But sometimes a friend doesn't have the tools to help you. They can bring it to somebody else's attention, an adult, to say, Rodney or Mary or whatever doesn't seem like they're acting themselves. There's something wrong. Maybe you should look into it. That would be something you can bring to um, a teacher or a parent or a relative or somebody, and just bring it to their attention and say, find out what's going on with this person because they don't seem like themselves lately. Because depression can, I hate to say it, but depression can lead to suicide. And
Sure.
you never know from all the things I've read and seen. And you never know when somebody's going to actually commit suicide. Sometimes they talk about it, but other times they don't talk about it. And all of a sudden you find out that so and so committed suicide. And it could come from one of the biggest things I see, and I've seen movies about it even, where bullies start taunting you and making fun of you on the internet, and they bring you down, and you feel so isolated because they're making fun of you. It could drive you to kill yourself because you just can't stand it anymore. It's just too much. And you see, the parents are shocked. I didn't know this was going on because it's all done on the computer. People can be so cruel, and they don't realize what they're doing to somebody else. It's horrible. It's horrible. But again, all I can say is isolating is the worst thing for depression. It just continues the cycle because all you have is your thoughts in your head, and you got thousands of thoughts, and they just keep spinning around and spinning around. And the more you think about them, the stronger they get, and the worse you feel. So a depressed person
Awesome.
isn't a depressed person isn't going to reach out. You gotta identify that there's a problem there, something's going on, and try to draw it out of them a little bit. That's all I can say. it's
Awesome.
it's just it's a hard thing to deal with.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joseph.
You're welcome.
These are valid. These are very valid points. I will give an instance with my friend over here in Nigeria. I think there was a day he he drank, he missed different alcohol. I mean, he missed this. I think that's like a natural, a herbal alcoholic drink with a normal alcoholic drink. He drank them together, and what happened? I didn't know what happened. All of a sudden, he sat down, was so weak, bowed his head. After bowing his head down, he started vomiting. And we asked him what happened. He said he could not even talk, could not even say anything. He was just down, totally down. I looked at him. I actually felt really bad in the sense that how can, in a situation where someone is high or someone is drunk or something, how can he just, do such a thing? You see how someone would now be feeling for him. We had to carry him like a baby to where he stays, and imagine such a situation, and things like that. Although it's not like a bad, I won't say it's totally bad for men to drink anyway. I would just say that a majority of them just don't.
I lost Victor for a minute.
Okay, so I will say that a vast majority of people just drink to feel good. They just drink a lot. They think they are, they are enjoying themselves. Some persons, when you even talk about peer pressure, their friends are drinking 10 bottles. Then because I know I'm not able to, but because I'm seeing the drinks everywhere, this place is filled with drinks, bottles. You just want to impress people. Then you drink, start telling all your stories, your personal things, your passwords, your things. All this happens because of addiction and alcoholism. It leads to a lot of leads to a lot of things and it's a lot of things and it actually leads to a depression or it emanates from depression. So there was that moment I saw my friend bend his head and all that. I was thinking, that means this boy must be going through a lot. I think maybe he's thinking too much because when he got to the gate, it was just like, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Imagine such a situation. Someone is telling you, I'm tired, and he now slept off. You had to give him something to eat, to get himself, and then he slept off and everything. The next day, he didn't even know what happened. He just was like, he's already feeling like a big guy. The next morning, he started drinking again. Started drinking again. And one thing that I feel actually caused this whole addiction to alcohol is the people he the adults more mature than addicted and is drinking, but he does not get high. He's normal. He's very happy every day. He drinks like 5 bottles a day. Like imagine such a thing. So a lot of things could be because of the way the people we surround ourselves with. If you know this person is not really helping me to achieve some great things or it's not helping me to do something good with my life, and I should let go of certain instances because we're actually damaging our liver, our kidney in the long run. Then one day it accumulates and magnifies and causes so much harm to us. And this brings up the question, which is, what do you really think about this whole side effect of antidepressants, psychoactive drugs, when you are addicted to these drugs, like what do you really think happens, or what do you think someone can do, so it doesn't get addicted to these drugs? Some doctors could recommend a drug to you, and then this drug you actually take it and it just sedates you or makes you feel happy, good, then you now feel so addicted to the drug and you now start misusing it. What do you think about this?
Um, I'm not a big fan of. They say there's certain drugs are banned by the laws in the United States, but then you can get the same drugs from a doctor, the same drugs in a pill, and they're not banned, but they say they have the same effect because eventually, if it's painkillers, especially you were in an accident and the doctor gives you some pills for the pain and you start taking them for 2, 3, 4 months, after a while you're addicted to those. Oxycontin was a big one. um, and eventually you're going to die from it just becomes overwhelming because you need more and more. Your body has a certain tolerance, and the more you take of it, the
Sure.
less tolerance you have. There's one thing I learned when I went to treatment for alcohol, which surprised me. The first time you do any drug, no matter what it is, your high is all the way up here, all the way up here. You take it the second time, not so as high. The first time you took it is as high as you're going to ever get. And what these people are doing, including myself, we're trying to get back to that high that you can never attain again because you already got it the first time you did it. That's why I say it's okay to experiment with a drug. Everything in moderation. People are curious. If you know it ain't going to kill you and you want to try it in a controlled environment, perhaps. But trying to reach that special high. I mean, I used to take drugs when I went to school to be awake. They had what they call uppers, and you can stay awake for 3 days on them, you know, and it felt cool. But after 3 days, you felt like crap. You felt like, oh my God, it's horrible, and you promise you're never going to do it again, but you do. When you're young, you think you're invincible. You're not going to die. You just think, you know, you look at older people, they're going to die. But me, I'm young. I have a lot of energy, and nothing's going to happen to me. And those are the people that it happens to. Uh, Everybody in the United States is over medicated with drugs of one kind or another. You want to lose weight? Take a pill. People don't want to do the work. All you got to do is exercise, eat less, and that's it. You'll lose weight if you want to lose weight. But no, they have billion-dollar programs where somebody has to take you by the hand and tell you your whole menu for the day, count your calories, all of this nonsense. I they, they trick people into thinking they need help for this stuff. You don't. If you have Google, you can just Google how to lose weight, and it'll tell you in two sentences: eat less and exercise. I mean, exercise not even strenuous. Go walk around a little. Go out and walk. That's exercise. But no, people want a quick fix. Give me that pill. The new pill now, I forget what it's called. People are losing weight left and right. And I guarantee you in 5 years, you're going to hear about all the side effects that came from taking that pill. Because none of these pills are natural. Whatever we need that's natural is growing in the ground. It's not coming out of a lab.
That's
It's not
true.
coming out of a laboratory. Okay. So that's my take on it. These pharmaceutical companies, they just want to get you addicted for life because it's all about the bottom line, the money they want to make. They want to make money. And the more money they make, the more they want to come out and tell you, you go to the doctor, immediately he's writing a prescription for you. Sometimes they don't even examine you, they're just writing prescriptions. I also say if an alien came from outer space and landed here on Earth and put the TV on, a regular TV, live TV where they have commercials, and you see all the commercials for drugs, we found a new cure for this, and we found a new cure. And then you listen to what it does, and that'll take about a minute of what this drug is going to, how it's going to help you. And then after that, then they tell you the side effects. That takes longer than what the drug is going to do for you. All the side effects could cause a heart attack, could uh, all these side effects you're going to get from taking the one pill. Why would you want to take that pill? Because you're relieving one problem and you're going to get three others instead because you took the pill. So all I can say is if you need medicine, they have good medicine for depression because I took some. But I also made the vow that this is how it works. Okay. You're very depressed. You go to a doctor, he gives you antidepressant pills. You take them, you start feeling a little better. The reason you're in that state now is the exact time you need to go to a therapist and start talking about what was going on with you because your mind, you're in a better frame of mind and you can talk about it. But once you do that and you work through your problems, Make a vow that you're going to get off that drug because you don't need it. You're working out your problems. You don't stop cold turkey, but you slowly take yourself off, which is what I did. Because I said to myself, I'm not taking these drugs. I know people that take them for the rest of their life. And little by little, your brain is getting fried. It's not a healthy thing. Put fruit and vegetables and all natural stuff in your body. Chemicals, we never know how everybody's different. You never know how they're going to affect you. Never in a good way. As far as alcohol goes, it's a poison. It's a poison. Your body is the best judge of what's good for you and what's not good. The first time I had hard liquor, I took a sip and I felt it streaming through my bloodstream. And I got like a chill like this. My body was saying, "What the heck is this? What are you putting in me?" Same thing with smoking. When you start smoking, you get dizzy. You sometimes want to feel like you're going to throw up. Your body is telling you this is not good for you. It'll tell you every time. If you eat rotten food, say mayonnaise or something that's no good, you're gonna vomit. Your body is gonna reject it and tells you, there's something wrong with this. Is poison. So all I can say is you can listen to your body or you can ignore your body, but your body knows best. Your body talks to your brain from your gut. Sugar is no good for you either. That's another poison. Your body rejects it. When you put sugar in there, body rejects it. Anyway, I think I covered that stuff. As far as taking the drugs, I don't know how readily available they are in Nigeria, but if you want to get drugs here, you can probably get them. I haven't delved into looking, but if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way to get it. And yeah,
True.
all I can say
Yeah.
is be careful of what you're taking because sometimes they'll tell you this drug is a certain drug that you think you're getting, but it's laced with something else that's a lot more powerful, and you'll die from one pill. You'll just die. It'll stop your heart. You'll go into a seizure. Something will happen, and that's what they do nowadays. They lace a lot of these drugs with other stuff. They come from for here. They come from Mexico and South America, and they're ready. No matter how hard they say we have a war on drugs, no. And I don't know who's winning the war, but people are still getting what they want. I know that much. And it's not a good way to live. You want to live a straight and narrow life? You want to live a longer life? Stay off all that stuff. That's all I could say. I'm 72, and thank God I got off of the alcohol because I'd probably be dead by now. Seriously. I mean, and people drink and they drive and they kill people. It's horrible. No matter how strict the laws are, they're
That's
still
true.
doing it. Costs thousands of dollars. You lose your license to drive for a year, and thousands of penalties that you got to pay back. And people still do it. I don't understand.
That's really true. So you see, I'll still give an instance. I'll give an instance over here in Nigeria. A lot of people when they see their friends doing something, they want to do
Mhm.
it. Or I'll give another instance when it comes to something that is trending. Let's say this is the clothes trending. Everyone wants to go get their clothes.
Yes.
Now I'll give another instance. There is this thing currently trending, tummy talk or belly talk. So you go and reduce your tummy, maybe because you are drinking too much or you are eating too much, your belly now becomes so big. So you now decide to go for a surgery to reduce your tummy. So people started doing that recently in Nigeria. And one woman did it. A woman that is very popular did it. And what happened? After the surgery, she died.
Ah.
She died. She
Mhm.
died. And she's a very popular woman online. She died. I also have there's one other man too, although he did not die, but what could have happened? Imagine. So these are things that happens. We just we are trying to fit in, just be like them. People that are people. There are some persons that are already into this thing. It's not like their lifestyle. There's a difference between someone that's already into something and someone that is just starting it. Like you said, when you are taking in a drug, it reaches a receptor. As a biochemist, you say a drug binds to a receptor, causes a change in that receptor. It can either activate or reject it. It can either activate or deactivate it. So what happens? Sometimes you may go and take a drug and it will not bind. It will cause a very big problem in us, just like you said, the way your body reacts. And some persons they will just be given to smoke, take a sip or just take a sip from something, and that could be what just destroys their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So most times we have to, we have to understand that it's not everything we must do. You are living a good life. The woman was actually living fine. She was living well just because she's seen people going to do it. She now went to do it. Where is she now? She's gone. So we have to, forget about everyone doing it. They're doing it, it's trending, it's this, it's that. And focus on how we can better our life. And that is why I still support you on this aspect of, understanding your body. Your body is telling you something. It's telling you something really unique. Understand your body.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I support that point 100%. 100%.
When I was
Okay,
real quick, when I was growing up and I did something wrong with my mother, she would say, "If Johnny or Mary were jumping off the bridge, would you follow them?" Which is, going along with the crowd. You have your own brain. Use your intelligence.
yeah.
Does this make sense to me? Just because everybody's doing it doesn't make it right. Let them do it. You can watch them make fools of themselves. You could sit back and laugh. Let them do it though. Because people will do anything for attention on the internet. I'm sure you know that.
Sure.
They'll do anything just to
Yeah.
stand out. And I don't know. That follows you wherever you go. Because if you want to go for a job and you're a teenager and you're doing all this crazy stuff, and they can pull this up when you're going for a job and say, "Hey, I see you on Facebook doing standing on your head, drinking all of these shots of liquor." That's not good. We don't want that in our company. Sorry, I can't hire you. It's like you're signing your name to things that you wouldn't want other people to see, but you're putting it right out there. It's it doesn't go away. It's there.
And that's a valid point you raised.
Mhm.
A very valid point, honestly. We need to work on it, and definitely we'll do well. I also love to ask some
Mhm.
questions. A person is depressed already. Now, how can he overcome depression? Can he overcome depression now that he's already depressed? He's now seeing everything around like a difficult thing. He's not really seeing something useful he can achieve anymore. Does not believe in himself anymore. Does not. He feels he cannot make it again. Like it's the end of the world. I will still give you an instance too. See, I happen to be around situations or see persons that they smoke a lot. They wake up in the morning, all they just do is to come out of their house and start smoking, start drinking. What happens the next day? The same place, smoking, drinking, like a cycle every day. They keep doing this. Then they'll complain about the country. They are young. They are young people anyway, very young. They'll complain about the country. The country is not favorable. There's no money. There's no peace. There's no that. That the country is not favorable. The government just forgot about him or her. That life is too tough. Victor, Victor, this, Victor, that. Sometimes I will even start advising and all that. But it still continues with this same circle. Same circle.
A
till
habit.
today.
It's a habit.
Still same
It's a
circle.
habit. You got to break it. It's a habit. Whatever you talk about. See, I'm a spiritual person, and I believe in energy. And for people out there that don't know this, we're just skin and bones. We're a powerful energy force where everything is energy, everything. The chair you're sitting on, the screen you're looking at right now, it's all energy. It's moving. You don't see it moving, but it's moving. And it's aligned with the universe. Okay. So whatever you talk about a lack of money, a good place to live, any of those things. Negative, you're going to get more of it because the universe is going to give you what you want. And if you keep talking about that, that's what it's going to keep giving you because it thinks you want that. If you talk in terms of being a positive person and smiling and knowing good things are coming into your life and just keep talking about it that way, your life will turn around. It will in a positive way. Everything's about being positive, being happy, looking on the good side of stuff, being kind to your neighbors, all of those things that sound silly, but they make a big difference in your life. Trust me, they do. Um, just to smile at somebody that doesn't look too happy today is a gift. And the biggest thing people forget, no matter what you have, you need to be grateful because you could probably have less. Whatever situation you're in, somebody else is in a worse situation than you. You're going through a hard time, you'll find a way to get through it. Okay. And you know how? Because you probably in your life went through a hard time before this, and then it comes up again. But this time you can look back and say, I got through that hard time the last time, so I'm sure I can get through it again this time. You ask for help, use people around you. Your prayers, if you pray and you're waiting for God to come and give you the answer, He's not going to do that. God doesn't do that. The answers come through people, or they come through a book you're reading, or maybe a movie you're watching. The answer, if you keep your eyes open, your prayers will be answered. But it's in your surroundings, your environment, where you're going to get the answer. When you meet somebody, it's not a coincidence. There's a reason that person is in your life right that time. Maybe you got to teach them something, or maybe they got to teach you something. And people come in your life, sometimes for 5 minutes, sometimes a lifetime. You're both teaching each other something, and when the lesson's over, when you learned what you needed to learn, that person goes because nothing lasts forever, right? Everybody there's a
Yeah.
timestamp on everybody. You're only in this world for a certain amount of time to achieve something, whatever it is on your journey. See, this was something for me to learn. Growing up, I would make fun of certain people doing certain things that didn't seem normal to me. However, as I get older, I realize everybody has their own journey. It's unique, it's different. We're all on a different path to learn different things that we need to learn. Each person, different stuff. So if you see somebody doing something, you have no idea what kind of path they're on, what journey, why they're doing that, because there's a lesson they need to learn by what they're doing. And that includes even killing, unfortunately. But it, if you just honor the other person and let them be who they are and know that they're learning a lesson or they're on a journey, instead of saying judging, that's judging. Everybody's judged. Like I said before, don't look at me, look over there, look at that one. Look what they're doing. Don't look at me because I'm perfect. Don't look at my fault, you know. But what the point I'm making is just I'm going on to the just my spiritual side, which I always bring up. Just be kind and try to stay happy no matter what. Try to When something happens to you, instead of saying, "Oh my God, why is this happening to me?" say, "What can I learn from this?" Because it's put there for a reason. It's not put there because they're picking something. The universe is picking on you. I think today I'm gonna drop a bomb. Uh, you know, uh, uh, Let me think of something silly. Just something happens to Victor today. So there's always a solution to a problem. And instead of whining about, oh my God, la da dee, some people live in the past. A lot of them are in the bars, in the liquor stores. They live in the past. They have no future
That's true.
ahead of them because they're drinking. So they tell you all these stories about when they were young, when they were doing this. It's a waste of your life because you need to be living right here, right now, right now. And if you're depressed and all you can do, the only thing you can do is be by yourself for a while, then at least pray. You can do that much when you're depressed. You can pray that just you can find a better way to move forward, and that'll help. It just talking out loud, even if you're by yourself, helps. I talk to myself a lot. People do. It's not that you're crazy. It's that you just sometimes when you say something, you have a problem and you say it out loud, the answer does come to you for some strange reason. I don't know how that works, but it does. There's always a solution to a problem. It's hard to feel that when you're really depressed, but you have to do everything you can to crawl if you have to go get help, to get out of that situation because nobody should be in it. And then when you get out of that situation, if you've ever gone through it, you'll be sitting in the chair over here 20 years from now, maybe telling another group of young people, there's a solution. There's a solution, and life is good once you get through all of that crap. You know what I'm saying, Victor?
Sure,
Yeah,
I do. I
good.
do. I
So,
do.
do you?
Okay. Thank you so
You're welcome.
much. Thank you so much, Dr. Stanley. Okay, thank you so much, Joseph. Thank you so much, Dr. Stanley, for your comments. We'll display it later on, Lee. Um, like you said, nothing lasts forever. We have to, live. We have to live our life with intentionality
Hmm.
and not and understand that every moment counts. Every person that comes to your life, leave a good mark with them. It matters a lot. So don't force friendships, don't force love, don't force it. If it's the person will stay, you stay. That is just it. And also give value. And that's a very valid point. Once more, very valid point. But there's another problem. This problem is about overthinking. Overthinking. You see people when they get depressed, or maybe they lost their loved one, or maybe they lost even their wife, or a parent lost his child. That is even a perfect situation with this. A parent lost his child or her child, or maybe a person lost his job, and he starts thinking, overthinking, and starts developing high blood pressure. It's now, he's exposing himself to drugs. He's just, doing all sorts of things. What do you have to say? Let's say a friend or someone is facing this challenge and person is overthinking too much. What will you say to that person? What will you do to that person?
Well, everybody thinks a whole lot. Um, Sometimes they overthink stuff. They want to do something, but they procrastinate because there's fear going on. Because a lot of people, part of that is worrying. And if you think about what worrying is, it's about the future because you're worrying about what's going to happen. 9 out of 10 times, whatever you're thinking about is a lot worse than what could ever happen. if it really did happen. You don't even know if it's going to happen, but you're worried about it. Oh my God, what if this happened? What if, overthinking the silliest things. Some people are like that. As far as when somebody loses a loved one, you have to go through a grieving process. You have to. Um, First, you're in denial that it happened. You can't believe if it's a sudden death. It's hard for you to imagine that it really happened until you wrap your mind around it, and then you have to move into accepting and accept it. And grieving's okay, but not for 10 years. There's a certain period of time you grieve, you let it out. It's a natural, normal thing. Then you honor the person, perhaps. You think of all the good things they did while you were with them in your life, the memories you have, the good stuff, and you move forward in their memory. You don't stay stagnant and say, oh my God, you know, I've seen women that, Italian women in Italy, they don't ever remarry and they wear black dresses for the rest of their life. Nobody wants you to live that way. I mean, you're throwing away your whole life. We all know people come and go, and it's inevitable. People are going to die. When it's sudden, it's horrible, but it happens. And how you deal with it is going to determine how, if you're going to be happy or sad for the rest of your life. And, I've lost loved ones. Even when my dog died, my God, it was so traumatic because the dog gives you unconditional love and you take care of it like it's your child. So when it only has a short lifespan, 12, 14 years, whatever it is, you feel that loss. However, you got to overcome it and say, I had all this love for 12 years from the animal. And wasn't that a wonderful thing? If I didn't have the animal, I would have never had all that love for 12 years. It's a give and take. You receive love, but then you have to give it back because everything goes back. People go back, things go back, bridges fall down. Nothing lasts forever. Only God's almighty eternal. That's a lasting thing that's never going to go away. That's the only thing you can count on to know it's not going to fade away. It's there. So you can't overcome depression like overnight. And part of trying to deal with it as you are trying to deal with it is to figure out why you got depressed in the first place. What happened? And usually it's one of those things. Somebody died, or you lost a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or something, a job you wanted really bad, you didn't get. There's always a silver lining because I've heard these stories before where somebody really wanted this job so bad. It was the perfect job for me. And they didn't get it. And they start getting depressed. A month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is, another offer comes in that's 10 times better than they could have ever imagined for this new job. And they get it. See, so they were rewarded. You just have to wait. Everything happens in its own time. And don't judge. Just deal with whatever it is right now and you'll get through it. Move on to the next thing. And if you do good things will come back. It's a boomerang. It does. It does. So depression is just a hard topic. There's just steps you got to take, but you got to make the first step. Always in life, you're in charge. And only I could say, Joe, you're an alcoholic. You need to go for treatment. I have to surrender. If you don't do it, nobody else, people all around you, they can't drag you to do it. You got to make the decision yourself for anything. That's all I could say about it. I hope that answered
Awesome.
it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, it does. It does. It
Hmm.
does. So
Good.
have a belief in yourself. Give yourself a chance to try again, and don't feel bad about that situation. You can bounce back and you can come out and push through every situation around you. Thank you, Joe. So okay, I will also say that people struggle with seclusion. You know, they are depressed. Then you observe them, they love to stay at the back. When they see a conversation going on, they are not interested. You know, a lot of them love to stay in isolation. And it keeps hurting them when they see some persons doing well, then they are not doing well. Yes, they want to try again to come out and all that. Maybe they even tried, but it still didn't work out for them. And they said, "Oh, let me just stay in isolation." What do you think about staying in isolation? That was one. Then also, I've been in a situation where people struggle with yeah, epilepsy. There's a situation in Edo State, Nigeria, where an agency brought up this foundation. Foundation is known as Angie Epilepsy Foundation. What they do there, they they talk about epilepsy. They sensitize people on it and all that. Yes, they do sensitize. They do a lot of things on that in that lane. But
Mm-hmm.
you see, if a person has epilepsy, what happens? People will distance themselves from the person. They don't want to be close to the person. But it's not contagious. They just don't want to be, no, 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 don't come close to me, don't come close to me. And they hide themselves from these people. And even with all the awareness, they still don't want to um, take the information seriously. So, like I said, this whole idea of seclusion, isolating yourself from people, or you're isolating yourself from people, or isolating yourself from others. What do you really think about it? Is there or are there better ways to handle this situation?
Well, we're not on this planet to isolate. I'll tell you that right off the bat. I mean, everybody needs to be with somebody, whether it's a friend, a lover, a husband, a wife, children. It's just not. If you look at let's go to the animal kingdom. There's a lot of animals. They mate for life. It's an amazing thing that how they do that. But most you see animals, they all congregate together. They have their little what they call a tribe. And human beings are the same way. We need to touch, to feel, to belong somewhere. And if you're isolating, it can take a while, but you can learn how to get back into society and congregate with other people. If you're staying in the house all the time, then I would suggest the first step, and these will be small steps, get out of the house. Even if you're not going to see somebody and you get out by yourself, just even if you're in the front of your house, it's better than just being in your room in the house. Okay, so that's the first step. You're outside. People come pass by, I'm sure. You can learn to say hi. That's all you got to do. It's a small little thing, but hi. And if you do it, a week, 2 weeks, and you see the same people, after a while, you might say, "Hey, how are you?" You might start more of a conversation. But it's this little step by step by step by step. Again, you have to do it. It's up to you. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to go to a dance hall or a group meeting of something. You just do it on your own terms, but keep moving forward, one little step at a time. And a big thing that I didn't talk about is journaling. I don't know if you're big over there with journaling, but if you write your thoughts down, you get up in the morning or whatever, you write down how you feel. I'm up. The sun is out today. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not feeling that great. but I'm going to work on it. Something like that. Because again, the thoughts, you're putting them down on paper. So you're getting them out of your head and you're putting them over here. It's the same as when you get them out and you speak it. You feel better. It makes more sense to you when you can see it, speak it, and you're not all by yourself. And the wheel keeps turning. You know how many thoughts people have a day? Hundreds of thousands of thoughts. And most of those thoughts, you know what they're about? They're about me. People are always thinking about themselves. If you want to start a conversation with somebody, just ask them about themselves because people love to talk about themselves. You just ask about your wife, kids, they will go on and they'll like you. And you made a friend. So just get out of your head. The bottom line, you can name this podcast, get out of your head. I'm done
Awesome.
there. I hope I helped that.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely helped. You definitely helped. And
Good.
yeah, I believe the audience are following very well. It has been a very great session. And I'll ask just two more questions.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so one of them is how will you describe a person with a healthy mental health? Is a person is, okay mentally.
A healthy person? A healthy
Okay.
person? Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking? How do I
yeah,
describe a
person with
healthy
a
person?
sure
Somebody that's healthy,
mentally, mentally.
mentally healthy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, they would look like you. Your eyes are bright. You smile when you're talking. You're full of energy. You want to learn something new every day. That's a key thing to being happy and healthy and keeping your brain moving. I forgot who said it. Somebody famous in the United States, Warren Buffett, I think. I don't know if you ever heard of
Okay.
it, but he made a lot of money and he's in his 80s or
Sure.
90s now. But anyway, he said one of the things you should do every day is read 5 pages out of one book every day. You should always be reading and learning something new every day you get up, and you'll live a longer life. And surround yourself with people that are smarter than yourself because their positive energy and their knowledge will trickle down to you. If you hang out with somebody that's toxic, you know what the word toxic means? Bad
Sure.
energy. If you hang out with somebody with bad energy, because I've seen this a lot too, where a woman meets a man and the man is a bad man. He's not good. He don't have a lot of good qualities. The woman is very good. She's smart. She's nice. And she says, I like this man and I'm going to help him. Well, you know what happens? The bad energy is going to pull her down to his energy. Bad. All her good stuff is going to whittle away. But if you're with somebody that's high intelligence, has good energy, you're gonna move up. You're gonna get better. You're gonna grow. You're gonna educate yourself. These are all important things. They have books out. I never follow or practice them, but there's a lot of books that'll tell you if you want to be rich, certain things you need to do. It's all laid out. Whether you're rich or poor when you're growing up in your environment, it's all about your mindset. What you're focusing on. You're focusing on something you want in your life, you're going to get it. All you got to do is take action to get there. But being blessed with good mental health is really important to make your way in this world because this world is not nice. There's a lot of bad things waiting, and how you handle them is the key to how your life goes. One more question.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. Yeah, yeah. You spoke really well. Okay,
Thank you.
the last question is how can a person build his mental health?
How can they
How
what?
can a person build his how can a person build his mental health?
View his mental health? I can't. I
Build,
meant
build it.
view.
Build,
How does
build, like you know,
ask me a different way.
create a healthy mental health? Okay, how does
How
a
do you
person
get it?
create
Oh,
a,
okay. Okay.
yes,
Um, it's little steps, pretty much about what I was talking about before. Are they coming from bad mental health where they're having problems and they want to get to a good mental health? Is that what you're saying?
sure,
Or
sure,
okay.
yes,
Well, again, it's a lot of small steps. Um, there's a lot of things you can do. Getting sleep, a good night's sleep, not tossing and turning. If you have a regular schedule, it helps to start with your day. So for me, I like to meditate for about 15 minutes every morning, do some exercise. I don't go to a gym, I just do it at home. Exercising. So you, and a little gratitude. You say a gratitude prayer because that sets the tone for your whole day, how it's going to go. I tell some of the people I work with, what's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? You go in the bathroom, turn on the light, and there's the mirror. And you look in the mirror, and at first it's not going to feel right, but you say, you are a wonderful person. I love you. Say that to yourself and do it every day. After a while, you start connecting with it. And again, you're starting your day like that. A lot of people get up, and the first thing they do is pick up their cell phone, start scrolling through, and they let the technology take over their world. No, that's not a good thing. It's not. So, mental health, have a good diet. You know, you could eat some junk food, some comfort food every now and then if you like, because I still do. But make sure you get the foods with vitamins and minerals and stuff because it helps your brain. Okay. Um, Again, exercise, movement, any kind of movement. When I was depressed, I did notice this. When I went to the gym, I used to like to do that elliptical thing. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's got the handles and they go
sure.
back and forth on the steps and you're moving. Okay. My depression got less and less the more I went and worked out at the gym and did some movement, some exercise. These are all natural little things you don't need equipment for, really. I mean, you can grow your own, have your own garden, grow your own food, do your own exercise at home, um, sleep, get 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night, do your prayers or whatever you do when you're talking to, you know, there's a higher power. Nobody thinks they're God, right? So,
Definitely.
yeah. So you talk to your higher power, you check in. You could talk about how am I doing? You journal. How am I doing? Write down goals. What kind of goals are you looking to accomplish? And then you start working on them little at a time. All of that stuff gives you a reason to get up. Because here's another little story, cute one. You hear the story about, I'm sure this is America. This man worked for a bank for 50 years and he's finally going to retire. Okay. And he gets his gold watch. They give him a gold watch for 50 years and then he's retired. But he used to get up every day at 7 in the morning, get ready for work, go to work, come home at 5 or 6 o'clock at night. Routine, 50 years. So he's retired. 2 months later, he dies. A heart attack, whatever it is, he dies. What happened? He didn't have any reason to get up anymore. He was done. He just had no reason. You have to have a
Hmm.
reason to get out of bed every day. There has to be something you're looking forward to, somebody you're going to help. Maybe you're going to help yourself. Whatever it is, it's on your mind, and you don't have to push the button 6 times when the alarm rings because you're happy to get up because you got something to do, somewhere to go. That's period. That's the best frame of mind when you have a healthy mindset. But with depression, it just takes little steps. And this too shall pass. Everything that happens in your life is a moment in time. It's not going to last forever. It's not. Nothing lasts forever. So if you're going through a little something, a little of this, or a big one, you reach out for help, but also know when you're going through it, it feels like it's never going to end, but it will. It will. And I think of people that commit suicide, and if they only spoke to somebody right before it, a lot of times I hear, I don't know how they got this information, but they say when people decide to commit suicide, like jump off a bridge or hang themselves, as they're actually going through it and doing it, they change their mind, but it's too late because they didn't really think they were going to go through with it, and they finally do, but it's too late. So it's like the miracle is always right around the corner, and nothing lasts forever. That's a key thing to know, especially when you're a teenager and you're going through stuff. When you're a teenager, life seems a lot slower. When you break up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or you get bad grades, or something happens, your parents are punishing you, and go to your room and you feel like it's an eternity, like it's never going to end, but it does. And then you move on to another part of your life. So never give up on yourself. You're all you got. So give it all you got. Treat yourself well. Talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend, not in a bad way. And keep smiling. Keep smiling and be positive. It goes a long way. It does. Even on your bad days, it goes a long way. I'm ending it on that note.
Awesome. 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 Once more, I want to sincerely appreciate you, Joseph James Iorio, for
Thank you.
making our time to be here today.
Thank you
And
for that.
I must commend you. I must commend you for your good work online
Thank you.
with the consistency and everything. You are still doing
Hmm.
very great. And keep it up. Keep up with the good work. And the sky is your starting point. So
Yes.
you are definitely going far. You're still going
Mhm.
very far, no
Yes.
matter what.
Yes.
And I love the fact that even at age 72, you still have this longing to push for more, push for
Hmm.
more.
Hmm.
But there are still a lot of old people. Some persons already 72. They're already thinking of worrying and. But it's so great, keeping yourself so busy. That is
Yeah.
something that a lot of us should emulate. And that's
Keep
once
busy.
more very
Keep
great thing to
busy. Yeah.
very great thing. So I do sincerely
Thank you.
appreciate you and
Appreciate you
look
and the
forward to
work you're
great time.
doing, and all the work
Thank
you're
you.
doing for the kids. They need it. They need it. They need an outlet. They need some good advice. And so you're doing great work. You do this every Sunday, right?
Every
God
Sunday,
bless
yes.
you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I
You're
think I
welcome.
should display Dr. Stanley's post. He said, the universe is full of energy, and the energy you attract depends on the thought process. Think positive and get positive energy, and negative thoughts attract negative energy. So the kind of energy we relate with will determine what we will end up having. So we should focus on good people. relate with people that are at least better than us. Focus on people that are better than. Don't relate to someone that is struggling. The person is struggling to survive, and you're also struggling to survive. How will you grow
Well,
in such a
you could
situation?
help.
So
You could
you
help
need to
them. You don't have to become friends with them. You could help them. But what he's talking about is exactly what I said a while ago. When you
sure,
say, "Why
sure.
always me? Why me? Why me? Why is this happening to me? Um, I'm so poor. I have no this. I have no that." You're going to get more of it because that's bad energy, and the universe understands whatever you're saying, and it says, "Oh, you want more of that." When you say, "No, I have a positive attitude. Everything is good. I'll make the best of this moment." Positive, positive. That's the energy you're sending out. Because I told you, your skin and bones. You're all energy. You're your energy. Everything is energy, and it's moving, and it's connected to the universe. So it's like a lifeline. Your thoughts are not your thoughts. They're everybody's. They go out. Anything you're thinking about, you're thinking good things for the world, they're going out. Thinking bad things, they're going out. It's good versus evil, like they always say in the movies. It's a good point, though, but it's very important. And as you get older, you'll know what I'm talking about. Um, Along the way, you'll see what I'm. It'll happen in your life. I guarantee it.
Awesome, awesome. So I would love everyone watching to subscribe to Future Setters Institute's YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also, if you have friends, I believe for those watching, you have friends, you have organizations, you have people that want to hear things like this, that want to learn things like this. Because we focus on leadership, we focus on personal development, and we focus on work ethics. These are three things that we have been doing. And so far, we've started another thing. We started something in science. So now we started training people via Future Setters Science Academy. So we now train people in physics, train people in mathematics, train people in chemistry. So we just feel that, everything, anything we can do to help every young mind to become the best version of themselves, we'll make sure we put our best into it. And also this week, which is tomorrow, on Wednesday and on Friday, we're going to be organizing a free LinkedIn training. A free LinkedIn training. So it's free and it's going to take place by 8 p.m. West African time. So if you are interested in being part of this free LinkedIn training, all you just have to do is to reach out to me via my contact. I think my contact is displayed on the screen, which is +234 7036214263. And so far, we have about 40 persons already interested in this free LinkedIn training. So after the training, you also be part of a community of passionate young individuals that are ready to do things in unimaginable things. So if you are interested, just reach out to me so you can get more information. And also do well to subscribe to our channel and follow Joseph Iorio on LinkedIn as well too. He's a very great man. Also on Facebook, can follow him for his good tips he shares on Facebook. I'll keep following him. I'll keep supporting him, and anything we can do to keep the energy and everything, we'll keep doing it. Once more, thank you so much, Joseph Iorio, for your time.
Thank you for having
Thank you
me.
so much, and thank you everyone for being with us today. Next week is going to be massive because we're going to be having Vanessa Martins from Mexico. She's going to be sharing her own insights in the aspect of branding. And it's still going to take place same time by 3 p.m. West African time. This woman is great. This woman is good. She owns a great company in Mexico, and she has a lot to share with you. So don't miss out next week, Sunday, by 3 p.m. West African time. And don't miss out of our free LinkedIn training so we can take your LinkedIn account to the next level. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, Joseph James. Do have a wonderful evening.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Same to you.